I remember hearing a long time ago from like a really wise mother. She was like, anytime your kids nap, you nap. Mm-hmm. She's like, take advantage of that. Don't go and clean bottles. Don't try to do laundry. Take that nap. Because when things get busy again, you'll need that energy.
Yeah.
You're going to need to take care of you before you can take care of anybody else.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Excited to keep going over the questions today. And I think that Greg has his finger on something. So do you have a...
Meaning the button, right? That could mean a lot. That could mean up my nose. That could mean all kinds of random stuff.
Well, yeah.
I do have a question for you, honey. Which is faster, hot or cold?
Hot.
Why?
I just felt like it was a good pick.
I'll tell you why. Because you can catch a cold. You even laughed at that one.
That's a bad.
I got a really good one. Okay, you ready?
Better than that one?
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which bear is the most condescending?
Polar bears.
No, a panda.
Wow. Gosh, I can't believe
You try not to like them, but you
jokes.
do. All right, I got a question for you from one of our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
What does a daily schedule look like for you, Jackie, while balancing raising children and maintaining a relationship with God and your spouse?
I mean, I think that through the years, the best thing I found for my schedule, and I don't know that it was always easy for me, but is I find that the best thing I can do is get up before everybody in the house gets up. And before we had kids,
Why is that?
Well, before we had kids, I wouldn't even have said that I was a morning person. You know, I want to say that first. Sometimes people are like, well, I'm just not really a morning person.
Yeah.
But for me, what I found is that getting up in the morning, first of all, spending time in the Word gives me the peace and the energy I need to fulfill my day. You know, it allows me to do whatever I need to do at that point.
Yep.
If I don't take that time, I'm already kind of stressed out. I have anxiety. I'm already, behind the eight ball is how I feel. So I get up before everybody else and I kind of sneak into my quiet place and I take some time for me and God to spend time together.
And a big part of that is just even part of your personality, right? Because, you are the type that you appreciate quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Things get noisy in your head and it builds over the day. And, with all the kids and all the moving parts, it's going to be noisy. So even getting yourself some of that time that is uninterrupted, it's like really replenishing to you.
Right.
There's a difference between I think relaxing and replenishing. There's things you can do to relax, but does it really replenish you? Like for instance, if you were to watch a movie, it wouldn't replenish you at all.
No.
Right? Probably wouldn't even relax you actually. You don't even like movies at all. But I know for me, I like movies and I might watch a movie and it might kind of relax me in the moment, but it doesn't replenish me. I don't end up after watching the movies actually feeling more ready to go for the day or whatever. So it's the same kind of thing with you. You need to have some replenishment in the morning.
Right. So for me, I take time in the morning to do that. And that's when all the kids have always been asleep. I would just do it even when they were little. I started a routine with the kids early on that I knew their schedule. I knew what to expect of them. So therefore, I could plan my morning time accordingly. And in our house, it wasn't just like the kids got to wake up at whatever hour and come out of their room and do whatever they wanted starting at 6 a.m. or anything like that. Mm-hmm. There was always a schedule that I had set as they slept through the night. Then eventually there were naps and then all that kind of stuff. So I knew exactly when they were going to come out in the morning. And therefore, I would plan myself ahead of time to be able to have that time to replenish myself. And that was my time. And that was me taking care of the schedule because I was in charge of the schedule for the kids and for myself and in my, workout time, my business time, my time with the Lord. And that was that was what I took care of in the household. Normally when Greg would wake up, he'd take care of his routine, and it didn't have with getting all the kids going and getting them set and all that kind of stuff. So I had to figure that out. And so with that, I made it a priority for myself. And then what I did was make sure that there was a schedule throughout the day, because again, we had 5 kids 4 and under at one point. There was a schedule during the day. We did have help, and that was something that was very useful and helpful in our house. We had a full-time nanny for about the first, I would say, like 5 or 6 years when the kids, so until like Ellie was probably around 5, we had help with all of our kids. And I highly recommend it if it works within, your budget and whatnot, to get help. For us personally, it was definitely a priority, as we started having children and we were doing all of our finances and everything like that. It was in our budget to make sure we always had help. And that helped a ton. But it still didn't take away from the fact that I needed to get up early enough to do what I needed to do so that the kids and I were on a schedule so that when somebody came over, they could actually help me versus just running around.
Yeah. And even to this day, right? I mean, I look at that, but you're very organized about things. You have a thing on the fridge. You usually have a short conversation with everybody the night before.
Yes.
This is what tomorrow looks like. I need you to do X, Y, Z. I need you to be up on your own by this time. You have to have this in place. I mean, even today, it was like, we already knew that I was going to be busy until about 2:00, and I needed to take everybody to golf and cross country and everything else by 2:30. And so you had the kids all scheduled to make sure that, like, Dad's walking out the door at 2:30. So, I mean, it's at this point, they're 14. So it's like, if you're not in the car ready to go, you're just missing practice, and you're explaining to your coach. Like,
correct.
we don't sit there and yell for our kids all day, because that just creates stress and anxiety for us. Not that we've never done it.
Right.
But at the same time, like, we've worked our way to this because it's just too much, right?
Well, and I think that we started working towards that early on. So, like, even like when the kids, as they got older and they could understand what was expected of them, if they got up early, let's just say, I was like, this is not the time. This is my time. So you can go in your room and read and have quiet time, but this is my quiet time. And I think that's one of the things that sometimes moms feel like they can't tell their kids, like, I'm going to need a minute. This is my time. And there's nothing wrong with it. I explain it to moms all the time. Kids actually like playing by themselves. They don't need to be entertained all the time. I mean, even our 4-year-old, she knows where in the pantry to get certain things for breakfast. She knows where in the fridge to get certain things for breakfast. She can help herself to it. I tell her the night before. She does it. And I might be down in the office working on things.
Right.
And I think that's just part of life in our household, is that we explain. And then they do the same. So if they're working on something, they'll say, I need some quiet time, Mom. I'm going to work in the schoolroom right now. And I'm like, wonder where you learned that from.
Yep.
So definitely organizing yourself, even if you think, because I realized early on that staying up late, especially when, the kids were young, was not healthy for me. I needed to get sleep. It seemed like the days I stayed up late, the kids never slept in or anything like that. So for me, I realized, their schedule is pretty strict. They go to bed at this time. I'm going to go to bed reasonably close to that, get some rest, and then get up early enough to be able to handle that.
Right. You got to get enough sleep for yourself.
Yeah.
You can't expect anybody's going to sleep in ever.
No.
That's when your days really get thrown off.
Right.
Right? Because they get up earlier. A dog throws up in the morning.
Always.
Or,
a kid's up for some reason.
Somebody's knocking on the door in the morning. So it shouldn't be for random reasons, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's you just kind of have to prepare for that. And then throughout the day, like you said, sticking to a lot of communication, a lot of schedules, and really holding our kids to them.
Yes.
And we do, because otherwise, I mean, it's like we've just built it into our kids that are a little bit older now. If you don't stick to these schedules, then you're not going to be able to participate in the things you like to participate in.
Well, and we don't, not that we didn't do things wrong. Maybe you're out there sitting here right now, like, how do they get all their kids organized and in the car even at their age now? I'm trying to get their equipment ready for them. I'm trying to get their stuff washed for them. Before our kids, we even sign them up for anything. We sit down and tell them the expectations.
Yeah.
We let them know. So this is what it looks like. If you have a uniform, you're going to need to come home and make sure it's washed well and hung up and ready for you to wear the next day.
That's right.
If you have golf clubs that need to go with you, my suggestion is the night before, you always have enough of your right equipment in the car ready to go. If Dad says he's leaving at 2:30, I suggest you're standing by the car at 2:15. Because once he leaves, that's the day. I'm not going to argue with you. because we're not going to scream all day long to our
And it only
kids.
works if you stick to it.
And that's where, though, parents being on the same page
Yeah.
helps so much.
Right, because if I leave at 2:30 and one of the twins wasn't ready and then they miss golf practice, and she's undoubtedly going to be upset about it, but when she comes in, she's not going to get mad at me. She's not allowed to.
No.
You'll, because we're on the same team, you'll remind her, hey, listen, we had a deal. You didn't fulfill your deal. Dad waited as long as he could, and he had to go because it's not fair to Abby or the other kids to have to wait on anybody. And it would be a good learning lesson, but that's the way we have each other's back.
That's
when
right.
It comes to that stuff.
And I think as parents, again, it goes towards that. And I will encourage you, if you're a new mom, I remember hearing this tip a long time ago, like when your kids are little and they're taking naps and you're trying to figure out a schedule because maybe they're up in the middle of the night still, they're not sleeping through the night. I remember hearing a long time ago from like a really wise mother. She was like, anytime your kids nap, you nap. Mm-hmm. She's like, take advantage of that. Don't go and clean bottles. Don't try to do laundry. Don't try to do, mop the floor at that time.
Yeah.
Take that nap because when things get busy again, you'll need that energy.
Yeah.
You're going to need to take care of you before you can take care of anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. We've had different ways of handling schedules forever. I mean, during those early seasons like that is what you just described. I mean, then when we have to do some work during the day, like working from home. I mean, we would hire people to be able to be there to watch the kids. So that way we weren't distracted during that time. I mean, today we have a little different, scenario where it's like, you have, we have twins that are 14, but now they have a role when we're doing certain things. We got to be on a Zoom. We got to, run a radio show, run whatever, where their job is to take care of it. And unless it's an absolute emergency, you're in charge of that. So again, it's like constant ongoing conversation and adjustments. I don't think we've ever done 2 years the same way. Would you agree? I mean, we just keep on adjusting based on what's going on in life and strategizing. And I mean, that's I don't know how, if we can say it any more emphatically, like it's constant. We literally try to manage our family like we would manage a multi-million-dollar company, right? Because we just see the value in our family is that high. Mm-hmm. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What other question you got for me?
Okay. What advice would you give yourself if you could travel back in time with your first children?
Wow. I mean, to be, I don't know. Honestly, I would have learned more probably about just different medical beliefs that we currently have that I didn't know then, that you don't think to prepare for. I think I probably would have loved to have been able to engage in listening to something like this, from some trusted people with a godly foundation around raising kids. I mean, I guess those are probably the two biggest things. I probably would have taken a little more time in preparation instead of just assuming you can figure it out once it gets there. Right? How about you?
I don't know. I think, I gave myself so much grace during that season because I think I did the best I could with what I knew. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And
sure.
What would I do better? Yeah, I mean, I probably, could have sought out more people to interview, and gotten a little bit more information.
You're right though, babe. Like it's like as much as you learn, you only learn so much until you're in it. Mm-hmm. It's like trying to learn the game of basketball by listening to someone tell you about basketball. You still got to get on the court, right? So, yeah, I could see that. It really is. I mean, there's this balance of education plus experience. I mean, how many people have we helped where we know that they're about to have a new baby or something, and we tell them, you got to study this book on schedules. You got to study this because it's going to impact sleep schedules. And sometimes they'll breeze through it. But typically, and we probably would have done the same thing, but until you have that baby and now you're in the thick of it, now you're like, okay, where's that book again? Because,
right.
I need some help.
And I think, too, I probably would have not, beat myself up as much about stuff. You know what I mean? That mom guilt is real, and you get that. And I think I would have tried to see my wins more versus some of in my opinions, my losses.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Got to celebrate the wins, right?
Yeah, and I don't think I did enough of that at the beginning for myself.
Yeah, whatever you put out, you get back. And so if you celebrate wins, you'll get more wins. If you always focus on all the things you aren't doing right, then you almost get more of that too, right? And so, yeah, I can tell you need to celebrate some wins right now. You're getting a little, slouched over there, feeling bad about some things, aren't you? What's going on? You need a hug?
No, I'm good. Thanks for asking.
You smacking a tushy?
No.
Huh?
Definitely
You need
not.
to tickle you?
No.
You need turkey tickle time?
I think the problem is you're forgetting I'm not physical touch.
Yes, you
Go
are.
back to love
I
languages.
know what you like.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. All that stuff, that's what you would like. You would like every single one
So you
of them.
want to?
No, thanks. I'm good. I just told you I'm good.
We're going to wrestle. Okay. All right. You're getting out of hand. We're going to cut this one off.
Yeah, okay. You do that.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening, and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. And we have great news. You get more of us. You can expect new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. So be sure to consistently tune in with us and enjoy our show. See you next time.